Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tides of Death. So, you've climbed to the top of the island. You found the entrance in. It's a little hard to get to. It's a little treacherous of a climb, but surely if someone was wanting to get up here, especially if they had climbing gear or help, it could be a pretty easy way in. Luckily, the entrance is well hidden on the top. So as long as you keep it secret, you can also keep it safe.
Yeah. Can I, not right now, but if I got the right materials, could I somehow make it more difficult, perhaps oiling the cliffs or laying some sort of spikes or something like that?
Oil the cliffs, the oil will wash away with time. You'd have to re-oil them every single day. You could add spikes, but if you add spikes, then people are going to see that there's spikes in an area. The spikes themselves might lead to discovery.
Can we actually say that it is kind of hidden within the base to be able to find the top entrance? Is that something that we... Okay, because then I think we actually may want to keep it hidden.
Yeah, let's not
tell them. The fact we have 2 new prisoners inside who we don't want to find the exit out.
Yeah, 100%, because they could just go up there and start a fire. And
correct, yeah.
Yeah, we'd be fucked, so...
we'll take Wiley and Bobby out sometimes to go on, their little excursions, but we're going to keep the entrance actually hidden just to the 4 of us.
Yeah, okay. So I'll come back and have this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool.
Right, so we're here for a week. We're healing up. We'll pick up.
Spends his time making the.
Yeah, you're doing your ship. Me and Archie will go back out and pick up Bobby and Wiley at the end of their trip. And then once everyone's back in base and the new recruits have been here for a week or 2, that we feel comfortable, I guess we head back out onto the open seas.
Well, when you go to pick up Wiley and Bobby, is it just 2 of you, or is it the whole party going?
Nilrum's not going. He's probably making his figurine.
Okay.
Yeah, if Sail wants to come, Sail can come, but
Sail is kind of needs to protect Nilrum.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just the 2 of us.
All right. Well, the 2 of you will go to pick up Archie and Bobby, and boy, not Archie and Bobby, I'm sorry, Wiley and Bobby, and boy, does Wiley have a story for you. Captain, we're on the island. Lovely place. Wonderful drinks, happy people, everyone's got money, everyone's playing card games, things are flowing freely. We discovered a couple of things that you might be interested in, Captain. Old Wiley is, well, I'm a charmer. I'm a regular. I mean, look at me. Look how handsome I am with my stabbing knife and my walking foot. Everyone likes to talk to old Wiley about this, that, and the other thing. And, not a bad card player myself. All you have to do is fold every hand, and you can sit at the table all night long and hear stories.
Out of interest, is that bar still open? I can't remember the name of it, but I give the name of the bar that we caused the commotion in.
The one that burned down. No.
Right. It burns all the way down. That is unfortunate.
All the way to the ground.
Well, don't do things by halves. That's what my mother always said.
The first story to tell you all is that the governor of Angel Island, has reached out to the White Prince and offered him twice their normal taxation rates if the White Prince would deploy more forces to the island and keep a more close eye on it and do something about the pirates out here on the Outer Rim.
You're talking about us.
I figure it must be you all, and I can't think of any other active pirates in these parts, but apparently Angel Island is redoubling their loyalties to the White Prince in response to the horrific events of yestermonth.
Oh, I suppose that's not too unexpected. Not much we can do with that information, though, I don't think.
I thought you just might want to be aware in case there's ever an attempt to pilfer the place. Already some new fresh troops have come to lay out locations for some extra watchtowers and some new barracks. Don't know when the actual reinforcements will arrive, but the first engineering squad has arrived.
Interesting. Well, I mean, you guys didn't cause any trouble while you were over there. Nothing too bad, I suppose.
Well, Bobby ruffled some prince's pants a few times, but other than that, nothing to be ashamed of.
Right, well, at least we can send you back there every now and again. You can keep an eye on the place for us.
I must also say, I'm very good at poker, as I said. I fold every hand so I can stay at the table all night long. But we're also broke, so it's a good thing you came when you did.
Well, that's what the money's for.
Aye. The second thing we found that might be of notice or interest was this rumor that kept getting passed about from some of the locals around here and some of the rum runners that bring in supplies from other places. They say they've been sailing past Sulfur Island and seeing a glint from high atop the peak there. You know how the island has that butte that rises well above the jungle floor on top of the mountain range. Well, there's something up there. There's some sort of... The rumor is a spyglass reflecting sunlight down onto the ships below. Someone or something living rests atop that spire and peers out down to the waves below. Now,
that is a curious story.
People of Angel Island are a bit superstitious. You know, being right next to the place that the White Prince laid low with the undead. Some say it's the spirit of the Kaiser family taking atop the watchtower, keeping an eye out and keeping all who would come and disturb their dead at bay. I think that's a load of crock. I think there are survivors on the island. I think that they left the outside, the shoreline where the White Prince could find them and moved inland and upward. And I think there's a city or a town or a palace on top of the highest butte there with the greatest views all around the island, 360 degrees. I think there's a secret.
That is interesting. These people are about the closest things we could naturally find to allies, I suppose. They wouldn't have much love for the White Prince. What do you make of this, Archie? You willing to brave the skeletons again? Go back there?
You know, Captain, they weren't really a match for us last time we were there. Punched them real good. So if they do want another piece of this, I'm sure we'll make it through. But
yeah, well, we got pretty good at jumping over those roofs, right?
Yeah, and they don't like the White Prince. We don't like the White Prince. I can see it.
Sale might be interested in it. All right, well, Wiley, hey, good work, and I think that's 40 gold well spent. So, unfortunately, while you've been gone, the cleaning has stacked up, Bobby. So there will be some work for you, but hopefully now you're feeling nice and refreshed. You know, you understand how generous we are.
Going from polishing knobs to polishing floors, Bobby. You're a good worker. Bobby gives a sheepish grin and sits down while the spectral rowers propel your ship forward through the water.
All right, yeah. So we sail back now.
Oh, no, Wiley's seen that before. Never mind.
I think on this.
They have, yes. They've all seen it. Right. The whole party gathers together back at your secret base near Port Ferris, near Flotsam Island.
Yeah. All right. Once everyone's together and we've shown Wiley and Bobby back to their rooms and sort of got everything settled in, we'll all catch up for food that evening.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll explain what. Oh, I'll let Wiley tell the story, so you can tell it just as like that, and then you'll say so. So, what do you think? This sounds pretty interesting. There's no immediate promise of loot, but we've got plenty of coin, but not many friends. So maybe this could help with the latter there.
Nod.
Something you're interested in, Sale?
Yeah, it sounds very interesting. If we could... It seems like a very thin lead. I mean, a glint on the top of an island. I'm not sure what it could be. I also got a little bit of information, and I'll tell them the story that the... I can't remember the guy's name.
About Bale,
like
though?
the brother... something?
Brother Brody?
Brody,
Yes.
I think it was. Brother Brody. Brophy. I'll tell him the story that Brother Brophy told me about my brother Bale. I think he was in Port Prince was the last time he saw him, and stuff like that.
Your brother, Sale?
Well, what year did you see him? How long ago was this? I asked Brody.
A few years back. Year it was. 5 or 6 years ago, I think, is the last time I saw him. I don't know how long we were trapped together. I felt like decades underground, but he shrugs.
What year was it? What year is it now? I'll ask him just.
Why, it's been 1,512 years since the gods saw fit to bring the chaos to the land, since they split Arcadia, and since the storms rose, mountains rose and the storms came.
Does that track to what we,
Yeah.
would assume? Okay.
So no time shenanigans.
No.
Sale, you and your brother are both from Arcadia, correct?
Yeah, we were born and raised there, and our whole family is from there, although not much remains of our family. I think it's just us, and I assume by now my mother is dead. Yeah, we're from Arcadia.
Yeah. Brody, this chap, this Bale chap, he speak with an accent?
Aye.
Sound like Sale? Sound like me?
Close enough.
Maybe it really is him, Sale. That's the whole reason you're here, isn't it? At least it was.
I like sigh reluctantly. It's like, I mean, I guess I'm here to save my brother.
That's what you told me on the docks in Redport. Hate to think you lied to me.
It's
You
why
didn't.
I'm here, but it's not. I don't. Not much love is lost between me and my brother.
I see.
Well, if we're going after our life goals, Mr. Brophy, do you know anything about the Fountain of Youth? Noam asked sarcastically.
He shakes his head, but Wiley kicks a foot up on the table and goes, "You don't know the secrets of the Fountain of Youth? Why, it's a tale as old as time around here. How do you think the White Prince continues to rule generation after generation, despite him being human-born? His life has been
shocked.
unnaturally extended."
I hadn't realized this fella had been around so long. How long has he been in charge?
He's been ruling the Ardennes for 80-something years now, but even before he came to power, he was before he came to rule, he was a old man. Now, I mean, I don't
Seems
know
to
for
me-
certain, but he must be at least 120 years old.
Seems to me from what I've seen, he's a necromancer.
Or he's just half elf. Yeah,
Well,
elves
I
around
bring
here.
up the necromancer due to the fact of what we've seen, Captain.
You
That is
can't be a
dark,
necromancer and a
suppose.
cleric of Astar at the same time,
Do
right?
we know
I
that
don't
this
think
man's
he's
a cleric?
I don't think he's a cleric of Astar.
Well, if he is, can Astaire grant longer life?
Gods can do as they please, I think.
They haven't.
Would be a...
They limited the lifespan of humans for a reason. They know we're the greatest species of all. The most cunning and crafty, wisest and most intelligent, able to take on any tasks, most adaptable to every environment. But they cursed us with such short lives.
Wiley, you sound like you've read a lot more books than your life would suggest.
How do you even turn pages with that hand of yours?
I don't read. I listen. I keep my ears open. You know, the gods gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. You listen twice as much as you speak.
That's very wise.
I read it in a
Very
self-help
wise.
book once.
So yeah, I'm the opposite. I can't stop talking and my eyes are terrible.
Well, is it decided we'll go to Sulfur Island again tomorrow?
Where do you say your... Brophy, where do you say this Bale chap is? Prince Port? Where's that?
Yeah, saw him last in Princeport years back. It's in the Midlands.
Ah.
So,
Well, another one. I want for another day, perhaps, Sale.
Yeah, perhaps. But at the very least, we're on the same page that maybe there'd be someone useful there.
Yeah.
Although he might not be happy to see me, considering I'm the reason he still was in prison for so long.
Was he in prison when you last saw him, Brophy?
no, we had gotten out together. Released because no one was there to pay either of our ransoms for however long we were trapped in that pit together, that hellhole of a pit.
You didn't just cut your throats.
You know, someone keeps you captive for so many years, and eventually when they find you're not worth anything, they just let you go. It's a
Suppose you grow
kindness.
to know him after all that time.
I suppose. We were kept somewhere on the same island as Port Prince, up in the mountains. And we came down, followed the river, got to the big lake, and followed that down to to the city.
All right, well, you keep that information up, though. We might need it one day, but for now, I think we'll stick to the outer rim.
Yeah, I agree. I think Sulfur Island might be a good target here, especially because we've already been there. We know the lay of the land. We know at least most of the threats that face us there are basically, the undead. Who I think, pointed Archie. I think he can deal with them pretty well.
Yeah, well, if you recall, they didn't wake up straight away. We might be able to run through the town before they get up.
I'm putting the Kaiser family book on my sheet. I think if there are Kaisers on the island, this will be a wealth of knowledge for us to talk to them about. So, did we get the family seal as well, Koibu? I can't. Did we get like a sigil or like a ring? I don't have it on the party sheet or on my sheet, so I don't think we did.
I don't think so.
Okay.
So, I mean, our plan was to go back to where the goblins were and check up on it, or at least that area. So, I think we sail there via Sulfur Island.
You definitely
got the Lady Sulfur's ring that had the seal on it. If I remember correctly, you pulled it off her corpse.
I mean,
that was a fanciful ring, but it was a.
I don't think it was like
It wasn't like a signet ring, but it was like a wealthy.
No,
did we keep that? Or did we give that to Nightingale?
We have a platinum necklace with sapphire and diamonds on our sheet. I think we gave that away to Nightingale.
Oh, well, never mind then. Sorry, I misremembered.
No, it's right.
Could I bring the children's book with me to practice reading while I'm sailing?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
All right. Off we go.
There we have it, yeah.
Make sure to have a word with Wiley and, keep an eye on the two new people, because they might try something funny and you need to be ready to do something about it if it happens.
Captain, I think that we should show Wiley the exit so that he can defend against it.
That's a good idea. All right, so let's do that. We'll after the end of this conversation, I'll stand up from the table. Wiley, come with me. I want to show you something.
I come.
And I'll take
along with you.
I guess I'll pull the candlestick or something that makes the secret door open.
The wall it is a specific brick, maybe 6 feet off the ground, that needs to be pushed in, and then there's a latch behind it that turns the wall.
Now I quickly come in. I'll go in and close it behind me. We found this while we were searching. This is a way out. It's not locked by the magic spell. I'm showing you because while we're away, there's a chance that somebody might try this or find it. You need to make sure that, first off, that Bobby and the others don't find this thing and don't tell them about it. And also, if there's a weakness to this place, it's here. So just wanted you to be aware. I don't suppose you're going to make a run for it anywhere, which is why I'm telling you.
He regards you for a moment before placing the flat of his knife blade on your shoulder. I'm glad you trust me, Captain. It's a weird thing being on the bottom of the totem pole after being on the top for so long, but I'm glad to have earned your trust.
You're not on the bottom of the totem pole, Wiley. You're in easily the top 4 rungs. I give him a nod.
Oh?
I'm just joshing with the others, but I consider you one of the main crew here. The other 3, they're prisoners. You're not a prisoner.
Thank you. Thank you for saying it.
Oh, God. Yeah. It's all right. It's all right. Come on, let's get you a drink.
The seas and winches and the storms. Aye. It's the storm. That's what's got in my eye, he says, rubbing it with the, gently tapping with the point of his blade, trying to wipe away.
Sure. It's the love of a woman while you're on Angel Isle, I'm sure. Brings out the emotions in you.
He just grumbles under his breath uncomfortably for a little while. And soon the party is together and ready to set sail for Sulfur Island once more.
Nilrim shows the crew his miniature that he made of the ship. Completely identical.
Wow, that is amazing, Nilrim.
Aye, we're gonna put it in the. We're gonna make this ship super small, and we're gonna put it in a bottle. Basically, what Nilrim's saying is just fucking crazy, and I hope that none of you believe it. But
how did you? Are you just carving this, or did you stuck parts of this together? Is it an amazing feat of engineering, Neal, or is it more just like a a reasonable model?
It's a pretty amazing feat of engineering. It is a scale exact model of your existing ship, with the mast up and with a sail around the mast inside of like a booze bottle, which is clearly the ship won't actually fit in here, and somehow he's managed to put or build the ship inside the bottle.
I'll be impressed. I'm just like, this is a masterful feat of crafting. Nilrim, well done. Although, what is it for?
Well, it's to shrink our ship and put it inside the bottle.
Oh. I thought you were going to put it on the mantelpiece.
No, well, I can't do it yet, so I'm going to keep it here, but hopefully soon figure it out completely. But yeah, this took Nilrim 2 weeks of... This is all he did.
You bringing it with us?
No. I'm going to leave it in the magician's room.
Yeah, the magician's room.
Yeah. The wizard's room, yeah.
The laboratory, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he'll go put it in there. He'll wizard lock the door, and yep, we have one of those ready to go.
All right. Keep your wits about you. We don't know what's going to be on this place. If there's skeletons, if there's giant ogre zombies, there could be all sorts down there. So who knows what we'll find when we'll go digging around.
Let me figure out my spell list. Just make it 100%.
Same. I got to do my sailing list.
But I'm good to go, I think.
I'm just going to go around to the people who are left and just ask them, like, hey, is there anything you want while we're out if we get a chance to pick it up? Just kind of like trying to like build a little bit of rapport with them. Like maybe the cook lady wants like an extra skillet or something, or like small knickknacks or tools that they need.
All right, I'm going to make some Stockholm Syndrome checks, see how they feel about you guys at this point in time. Janet is mostly terrified.
Nice.
You ask her what she wants, and she meekly replies that she doesn't want anything, just, time alone to spend in prayer. Maybe, is there a chapel, a place where she can go and pray? She would love to spend more time praying to the gods, alone in peace.
I'll point her to the harbor and be like, that's the chapel there. It's the ocean. You can just pray to the ocean. And then I'll walk away without explaining.
Brophy, on the other hand, is coming around pretty quickly. This isn't his first time being captured by pirates. And granted, he is once again being held in an underground lair without any ability to escape. But this time, it's not a 6x6 pit that he's got a shit in with like one other dude. This is a pretty less. Step up. Yeah. And hey, the guy that I was trapped in a pit with last time, his brother's one of the captors this time. It's not as bad. It could be worse. There's a whole bunch of room to walk around. There's other people. There's this interesting Wiley character. There's a cook. Like,
things are
good.
So I'll also let the party know that I had promised Brophy that we would consider his time served if I was able to find my brother off of his information. And that we would agree on some amount to discount him.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Normal ask Bobby. Now that you're number 2 at home base, you have a lot of responsibility. Wiley can still kick your ass, but if those others try to kick your ass, you better fight like hell. All right? Is there anything you need while we're out? Number 2?
A cudgel. A good cudgel. A club that inspires fear. Maybe something with like a skull in the end that you beat people with. That way I can keep these landlubbers in line.
Normal grab little Bobby's, his bicep. You're not the strongest, little Bobby. Maybe you shouldn't be thinking all the time with your strength and muscles. You need to start doing what I do. Think with your head. You're a charismatic fellow, all right? Not gonna be bringing you home a cudgel. The next time, think of a better request, and maybe you'll get it. Normal, step out and leave.
Nice.
Little Bobby is crestfallen. He says nothing to you before you leave.
Good.
And eventually, the party sets out. And after a day and a half of sailing, Sulfur Island appears on the horizon. It has a mountain range running down the center of it. On the eastern corner is where you guys last settled, and that's where the city is. And you can see from as soon as the island comes into view, this massive butte right here that sort of sticks up above the rest of the island. This area here, whoops.
Can we do perception checks to see if we see the glinting light?
Yes, we can get that in just a moment. This thing over here is like a large plateau that rises 100 feet or so above the coastline. And then on top that plateau is this like concentric series of buttes that rises up even higher. This is maybe, 500 feet above this, which is, 100 feet above the ground. So it's quite the impressive tower built onto this island. And the whole thing, this whole like upper plateau is just like a jungly, hot, sweltering terrain, which you can see from quite the distance. If you remember back in town over here on the point, there was like a switchback that did lead to the mesa above, where you could get to the jungly area. But that's the only entrance you know. Yeah, the town's right here. There are probably other ways onto the mesa from somewhere else, but you know of one. You got to go through the town full of undead to get to it. So
that's fine. They didn't get up immediately. We can probably just run through it.
Okay. Dock the ship, tie the ship at the pier.
Is
run
the other
through
side
the town.
Is the other side desert?
Let's go around the island.
Yeah.
Because we have all the time in the world, and just look,
we should be able to see if the plateau is shot smaller anyway.
Let's do a quick around the island.
Great. Okay. So you go all the way around the island to get a good view of it. This northern side over here is mostly like sort of grassland with some scattered trees and forest around it. There's enough trees that you can't really see what the inside looks like. You can see maybe a mile along the coastline as you go around, and then beyond that, excuse me.
What type of trees are these? Like
oak
sprawling,
trees,
like redwood trees. Okay.
Yeah. So not super tall, but they do have like very wide tops, and they're scattered enough that you can see between them fairly easily. Like they wouldn't get in the way of traveling, but they do, after like a mile of oak trees, block any further inland vision.
What about when we get to this corner here? Do I see the canopy rise up like 100 feet or?
Yeah. Wait. You do see the mesa, which is still like about 100 feet off the ground, the sea level.
Yes.
And then there's another set of mountains right here, right?
But at no point did the mesa seem lower than 100 feet as we circle the island.
Right. Yeah, it feels very much like one just like lifting up of earth, and it's now just a flat section, 100 feet off the ground.
Well, I don't think we can. So having got back around to the dock, I'll say I don't think we can waste the time looking around the whole island for another switchback. We know where one is. We should just go to that.
I agree with that. Did we see anything else of interest going around the island?
There is a river that leads out over here, and there's another river that exits over here. Which for
These
some
aren't
reason,
saleable now.
Well, you have a pretty shallow boat. This type of boat is actually workable going up rivers. It would be a different experience paddling up the rivers. You might at some point come across a sandbar or a rocky area that is too thin to pass, or you could be able to sail all the way up the river. You'd have to go up to find out.
I'll ask the captain if he wants to.
I am interested in it. It might be something in that lake.
The best thing in the world would be us not getting spotted and our boat not being taken as well, especially with it being hot. So I think going up the river might be the best
No reason not to try it. Yeah. I mean, I think we can make this decision as we cross the river, maybe, Neal.
Yeah.
So in our circling of the island.
Yeah, you circle the island once. You would, come from here, and then you go around. You see this. You talk about it. You circle the rest of the island. You come back to the one dock that sticks out right in the view of all the shipping lanes that would come back and forth. You can see the town. You can see the dock. If you park your boat there, that'll be obvious to anybody sailing by.
Yeah.
Are you gonna want a navigation check for this going up the river?
We will do a couple of things if we're gonna go up the river. Is that what we are settled
we're gonna
upon?
Go up the river.
Yeah. All right. You can put your boat into the water and with your spectral rowers propel up the river. I am going to need a navigation check from you, MrMouton. Oh my god.
Natural
it is
20.
A
Nailed it.
natural 20. Yes. The river is treacherous. There are a few places that look pretty sketchy to get through, but being the fantastic navigator you are, and you found yourself a nice long 30-foot pole that you can like poke off of the front of the ship to see which areas you can pass through, you find a section of rocks that would scrape the bottom of your boat and find a way to sort of navigate around them. However, we're going to need someone to actually do the very careful steering around the rocks, right? The navigator is sort of sounding ahead, finding the right path to go. Now we need someone skilled at the helm to be able to follow Mouton's instructions and not smash the ship on these rocks.
So is that
Seamanship?
seamanship?
We'll do it.
Yeah. Well, whoever's not doing the rowers will need to do a seamanship check.
Oh, I guess I'm doing the rowers. So.
Yeah.
Sail,
Yeah, so
then.
it's me or sail. If you've got seamanship sail, it's going to be better.
Yeah, I've got seamanship.
Yeah.
All right, so give us
you
a
would probably on
seamanship
the front,
check.
like shouting out things to Neal,
Yeah.
like rock on the left. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
ready for the check.
10 degrees right, up starboard, 5 degrees port. Yes. With Nilrum showing you the way, Archie propelling you forward, and Sail at the helm, you can navigate around the first couple sets of nasty rocks and pitfalls and make your way up the river. On both sides of you, the jungle branches lean deep over the river, making it a nice shadowy, shady rowing. The river is fairly slow. It's mostly at sea level or, just ever so slightly above. So there's not a lot of heavy currents against which you row. While the three of you are focused on these tasks, that leaves Captain Winters to be the lookout, to be seeing what else is happening in this jungle.
Can I explain something before we go any further?
Please.
Before we would have went up this, Norum knows there's a million trees, okay? We know it's really rocky going up the river. I don't want anybody falling under the boat, so I think that we should have all tied ourselves to the boat, specifically. Would everybody in the crew be okay with this?
Is that necessary?
It is.
You guys can tie it. I'm not tying myself.
Okay, I tie myself.
Archie's not doing that shit either.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
I didn't quite follow. Why are you tying yourself to the boat?
That's a question.
I don't want to fall out of the boat, and I also don't want these trees to grab me and pull me out of the boat. So I'm tying myself to the boat.
You're
You know,
worried that
that's
the
some paranoia
trees
right
are...
Well, right.
I'll have myself loosely tied to the back of the boat.
Thank you.
You think the trees are going to come out and grab your sail?
I was like,
They could.
no, it's a pretty small boat. We hit a rock, you're going in the drink, man.
True.
That's not what he said. He's talking about trees grabbing you.
I think that's
No,
just his
Norum
paranoia kicking
first
in.
off said the rock and falling out.
Well, hopefully we won't be hitting any rocks, right, Nora?
Well, hopefully not, but things happen. And it seems like you're too stupid to plan for the worst, so good luck,
Perhaps I
Captain.
Yep.
No, I'm tired
yeah,
myself.
Yeah. I'm
Right.
on lookout here, with my legendary 8 perception. obviously, I have no other useful skills, so I'll keep lookout.
Well, Captain, give me a perception check for what sorts of things you might be able to spot in the jungle.
Spyglass should give him a bonus, surely.
Oh yeah, it gives me advantage.
Bonus
right
of
now.
1. Yeah.
It's advantage. That's what it's done in the
The
past.
spyglass might be advantage for trying to spot something distant on the horizon, but when you're trying to scan the jungle around you, the spyglass only narrows your field of view.
Oh yeah, I just seen a
Perhaps-
goblin's toenail.
Perhaps this is why you rolled a 10, is because you're using the spyglass to scout the jungle around you, and you just your field of view is so small, you see nothing but trees and parrots and, birds
It's all,
of paradise and...
It's all
Yeah.
about the image for Winters.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the hat with the feather, the spyglass, 1 foot on the edge of the boat. Yarr! that kind of thing.
You're showboating. Give us a charisma check to see how well you're
there we
showboating,
go.
please.
Oh yeah.
Oh
My god. He's not doing anything, but he looks like he's in charge. He's a proper
cool,
CEO of this ship.
Exactly.
Okay. You sail your way up the river. You don't see any threats. You do manage to navigate past all of the deadfalls, all the pitfalls that might be around here, until eventually you break out into a massive lake. It must stretch like 1.5 miles in each direction. It is quite large. It's almost rounded. There is a single river leading into it, which comes from a waterfall that drops off of that mesa. As soon as you break out of the trees into the lake, you can see the 100-foot cascade against the back of the mesa, which then drops down to another little river that floods into the lake. And then there's jungle all the way around you, and a little tiny wooden dock on the far side of the lake near the river that leads from the waterfall.
All right. Well, I pointed out. I see it with the spyglass. Straight away. There's a little dock down there, guys. I think that's got to be where we should be heading.
Oh.
Do
I see any of those?
Used at all?
The dock does look quite old. There is a rowboat tied up to it. You can see a thatched roof sort of beyond the dock within the shade of the jungle, but you don't see any people standing around. The rowboat is tied with some hempen rope to the dock, and it is just sort of like maybe at rope's length away from the dock itself, so maybe 15 feet out, just sort of floating in the water.
Is the dock by the waterfall?
It is by the river that leads from the waterfall. So it's like, on this map, it's like right over here-ish.
Yeah, okay.
Well, let's sail in.
Yeah.
Might be a good place to put the boat for the night.
Yeah. Should be safe here.
Or just as long as I'll look around the trees. Those monkeys don't mess with the boat. I remember last time we were here, whatever that thing was, it threw something at me, and it nearly got me killed.
Yeah, I remember that. That was funny.
As we get close, I guess, Nilram will lightly call out, superstitiously, because there's a building, you said, yeah? There's a thatched roof?
Mm-hmm.
He'll call out, we mean no harm. We're just here visiting the island. We saw glints on the way, and we, not members of the White Prince, wanted to come check it out. We know what happened on Sulfur Island here and the atrocities, and we're here for the Kaiser family,
Nice work, Nora.
Oh, nice.
When we get to the tree line, Neal, as we step off the dock, it's kind of ridiculous, but someone in chat just said it. Can I take some of my rations, maybe some seeds, little bits of dried fruit?
Uh-huh.
Try and get maybe a little parrot to come down and hang out for a bit, eat some seeds and that.
You want to try and attract some of the local wildlife to you?
Just a parrot.
That sounds like a genius idea.
If I see a parrot in a tree, I'm just going to offer it, some seeds and that. I'm not expecting to take it home with me. Just getting used to them.
Well, as you get to the dock, the first thing you see is there is a corpse in that rowboat, a skeletal corpse of a person. They are laying down in it. There is a blanket that probably has blown on top of them since they've died, because it's not nice and neatly on them, but it does cover them from the chest downward. And out above their head are the outstretched, rotted away skeletal arms. Naught but white bone remain, all the flesh having been eaten away by scavengers, insects.
This isn't our old rowboat, is it? Or was that guy who escaped on our rowboat?
Yeah.
There was a person who escaped on your rowboat. This rowboat does not look like it unless it has somehow been affected by a great amount of time since you last departed.
Yeah.
It holds together still. It does still hold water. There's a little bit of water inside of it, probably from rain having come down. And it just sort of has this older aesthetic to it.
Sure. Well,
I'll
it's no
search the
use to
rowboat.
us.
And
How long
Carefully.
does the body look dead? By the way?
Yeah.
It's been turned to bone, so it's many months to, decades, years. At a certain point, it becomes hard to identify the age of a corpse.
Nolan, if you're going poking around in there, just be careful. That thing might wake up.
I know. No, carefully searches, getting ready to jump away if it moves.
Well, you've pulled your boat to the dock, and you've tied to it in order for Neal to hop out and pull the rowboat over and inspect it. So why don't we take our first break as Neal carefully, cautiously leans over the rowboat and begins to inspect the skeleton there. We'll come back on the other side of our break with a little more Tides of Death.
Second break.